高，但是是透明的玻璃。我们现在里面装有300磅透明的热玻璃。
The glass in our furnace is just clear glass, but Louis doesn't waste any time. He goes right over to our marver and he rolls through crushed up colored glass called frit.
那透明的玻璃呢？现在我们要染上有颜色玻璃。我们现在有纱状的黄色的有颜色米色。
The color that Louis is using today is an ochre yellow and a neutral gray. We use the neutral gray a little bit later, but we have about over 125 different colors in glass.
我们实际上我们有很多不同的颜色，就方便我们改变。待会儿呢，我们还会放这个灰色的。
Now this table right here, it is not just any ordinary table. This is a thick plate of stainless steel. We do call it a marver. The earliest form of the table was actually made from from marble, and early glass blowers used to use marble tables because they didn't have stainless steel back then.
好，我们师傅刚才利用这个钢板呢，转动成一点螺纹形，很漂亮的螺纹在上面是花纹。
Now Louis rolled through that color several times. The more we roll through the crushed up colored glass, the denser our color application becomes.
好，因为我们是沾上这个颜色，这个纱状的玻璃，所以要沾上好几层，就会比较深一点。
Louis is over in our reheating chamber. It's basically a large toaster oven. We only use it to reheat the glass. It doesn't hold any glass on the inside.
另外那个炉子，我们叫它为回火炉，里面没有装任何玻璃，它的温度稍微高一点，所以我们要加温，要靠那个玻璃那个炉子。
Louis is using a large wooden spoon we call a block. He's shaping, centering, and cooling glass. And here in a moment, just watch the end of the iron where the glass is, and you'll see he's blowing a bubble.
它定型之后呢，吹一口气，用拇指压住这口气呢，因为热力跟压力的关系，没有地方跑，往前窜出一个玻璃气泡。
Now that little bit of expansion tells Louis and I that there's a bubble on the inside of that glass, probably about the size of an avocado seed. Very small, but that's all we need because this is just the starter bubble.
好，他说刚才吹进去这个气泡呢，大概像洛梨的纸盒这么大。
With this much glass, we could probably make a nice top to a wine glass or even an ornament, but we want to make something a little bit larger for you all today. So he's going to cool down that starter bubble and go back into the furnace for another gather of glass.
那这一点玻璃呢，是所有吹玻璃的一个开始。那这一点呢，大概只能做一个小的玻璃杯或一个小的装饰品。那在取第二道玻璃要做大一点玻璃之前呢，必须把它温度降到1000度。
That hiss that you just heard, that was actually compressed air. We use that to blow on the surface of the glass to cool it down, very similar to when you blow on your cup of coffee in the morning to cool it off.
好，刚才我们听到很响的那个声音呢，是压缩空气，使它降温稍微快一点。
Now Louis has about 2 to 3 times as much glass on the end of his iron. It's because he had a larger surface area to gather on.
好，我们刚刚利用这1000度左右的玻璃气泡呢，汲取2、3倍大的玻璃。刚才那个气泡打太软的话，就会压扁、压破，那这时候它就很难再吹了，因为太厚太重的关系。
Louis is using a larger wooden block to accommodate the large mass on the end of his iron, but we dip that block in water so we can preserve the wood. The wood is actually a cherry wood. Any fruit wood will really do, apple, pear.
好，其实我们前面有很多不同的工具，刚才是石墨板，那我们大部分都是用这个木质工具来定型。木质工具好处不会使它稍微光滑，而且不会降温太快。
Now this is one of my favorite tools. This is actually 10 sheets of folded up local newspaper dipped in water, and the first few layers are burned off. So the glass actually rides on a thin layer of steam with that tool and on the carbon that's burned in on the surface.
很有趣的是，这个厚的湿的旧报纸是它最接近玻璃的时候，其实也是控制这个玻璃最好的工具了。大部分人都很喜欢用湿的旧报纸。
Louis is going to work very, very quickly. You want to use that core heat that we have from that second gather.
好，这时候呢，很快的用这个钢夹子做出他自己想要的设计的形状。
Right now, Louis is cutting in a constriction line towards the head of the iron. That's very important. That's the line that we're going to use to break the piece free from the blow iron a little bit later in the process.
好，同时我们看他用钢夹夹出靠近钢管的地方，那个环状呢是非常非常重要。那个地方待会儿要切断，所以他一定要夹得恰到好处。
The smaller that constriction line is, the cleaner the break-off will be. Hence why you see Lewis go back in and redefine that neckline.
好，我看他会重复的一直夹好几次，刚才那个靠近钢管的地方，那个地方呢一定要夹得刚刚好，否则很难切得漂亮。
So Lewis is able to dramatically change the shape of that piece just from using the gather heat. That's very impressive. Lewis has been blowing glass for well over 25 years, so he's going to make all of this look very, very easy.
吹玻璃最难是一离开我们的炉子的时候，它就一直在降温，不停的降温，所以呢，越吹越大，它降温非常快，随时要放到回火炉去加温，否则就会破掉或很难操作。
Lewis's left hand is constantly turning the iron. If he ever stopped turning the iron with the glass on the end, the glass would slowly fall off center, making it more difficult for him to actually make a successful piece.
吹玻璃还有一个最重要，就是它的钢管是不停的在那边转动，停止转动的话，地心引力关系马上就歪了，甚至呢掉在地上。初学人经常不小心就掉在地上了。
Now, if you look up on the screens, there's several all throughout the auditorium here, you actually have a very unique view inside of the reheating chamber. There's a small camera that's about 8 inches behind the furnace, looking through a little window. That window is made out of a high purity fused silica glass.
我们特别要介绍这个炉子，只有康宁才有，这世界呢只有5组像这样的一个设备，是康宁玻璃公司在1930年发明的2氧化硅的玻璃，在后面的这个炉子，然后有个摄影机在后面挡着。
That fused silica glass can withstand over 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The glass that we work with is a soda lime glass, and we work with it at around 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
那块玻璃呢可以耐4000度以上的高温，太空舱上的窗户呢也是这种玻璃做成了。那我们一般的玻璃呢，大概2300-2000多度就会化掉了，那个玻璃可以耐4000度以上。
And using heat and centrifugal force and his baton twirling skills right there, he's able to twirl the iron around, and with gravity, the glass naturally pulls itself out.
我们师傅呢是非常有经验，我们看他刚那样甩动，假如它的温度超过1500到1800度的话，就会甩得很长，所以呢，它要控制在1500到1800度之间，假如温度不够呢，也甩不长。
Oh, it's stuck in there. There you go. So Lewis asked me to prepare a solid foot for this piece, so I will take this solid gathering iron and go into our furnace and demonstrate how easily it is that glass will drip off the iron once you stop turning.
好，路易斯要求呢，再取另外一块玻璃呢，要做它的底部。所以呢 ，Lauren 现在取出一小块玻璃，待会儿呢停止转动，马上就会垂掉在我们成品的底座的中心点。
So Lewis will stand his iron up on end, and he'll grab my iron and guide it right where he wants the glass to drip.
好嘞，很快的垂掉在中心点，然后呢，用一个菱形的这个特别的剪刀，一下把它剪下来，然后趁它还软的时候，做出它想要的形状。
Lewis only has a few seconds to really shape and cool that glass down before it completely solidifies into place.
好，现在最重要呢，我们底座一定要均匀对称，所以呢，开始把它夹住，转动，变成比较对称。
Do you need a board? You'll see Lewis constantly get back up and reheat the entire piece. We never want our glass to go below 900 degrees Fahrenheit. If it does, the glass could cool too quickly, crack and break.
好，我们现在这个温度降得很快，因为非常的大。然后呢，我们开始要做转尖的话要更特别一点。我们看 Lauren 现在在钢板上转动，变成有一點尖的形状，而且温度不能太高，大概在1300度左右，温度非常重要。
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. I am making a punty. It's a temporary handle. We use this to attach to the bottom of Lewis's piece, and we'll put this piece around 180 degrees and begin to work on the lip or the opening.
我们知道这时候它温度假如太高的话，封死的话，最后它很难取下来，只能在那尖尖的一点点轻轻粘住，粘在那个上面。假如粘得太紧的话，最后很难拿下来；太松的话，这时候就掉在地上了。
Yeah. Nice and hot. This is cooling down the neckline, and with a quick tap, the piece will break free, just like that, and the crowd goes wild with a round of applause.
我们应该给他点掌声，稍微鼓励一下，因为很不容易接住了。敲开的地方只有1000度。
So as soon as that piece breaks free, I have to react very quickly and begin to turn the iron. If I stop turning the iron at any point in time, the piece would fall off center.
经常呢，即使很有经验的人，也这时候会掉在地上，所以刚才很不容易接触之后呢，还要集中火力在前面敲开的地方呢，只有1000度，要回升到1800度。
While Lewis is working on the top half of the piece, I'll go ahead and prepare a lip wrap that he asked for. A lip wrap is exactly what it sounds like. It's a little wrap of color that goes around the lip or the opening of the vessel.
Lauren 现在取出另外一小块的玻璃，滚上另外的。灰色、深灰色就是天然灰色，要滚加在它的外圈。
The color I'm rolling through is a beautiful smoke gray. It's a transparent color. Transparent color is really nice to use. It allows light to pass right through it.
我们玻璃呢，实际上有很多不同的颜色，而且呢，有的是透明，有的是半透明，有的是不透明。前面我们可以看到有些不透明的玻璃。
Now, every time Lewis sits down, you'll notice you can't hear the metal iron ding up against the metal railing. It's very important to keep all of that vibration to a minimum. If you were to slam the iron down, the piece would break right off. You ready?
我们要很小心的转动啊，做这个玻璃，因为呢，任何一个地方的温度不够，或者是太低的话，就会断掉。
Very nice. So we have a very delicate line of color right around the top of our vessel. Now Lewis will take a few reheats and begin to shape and manipulate the top.
粘上的玻璃再放回火炉去加温，让它封住。
Now that punny connection is really about the size of a dime, so we have to be very careful with the heat. We want to keep that temperature once again above that 900-degree mark. So you'll see Lewis reheat the entire piece in the reheating chamber over there. That's what we call a flash heat.
我们知道这个玻璃呢，只要低到900度以下，马上就会破掉、裂掉。所以呢，我们看 Louis 有时候把他的玻璃整个放进去，再拿出来，就是要确保每个地方都在900度以上。
Now this tool is called the Sophietta. It's like a long aluminum straw with a cone attached to the end. We can use that tool to inflate the glass and thin it up, and also expand the shape and size when it's off of the blow iron.
前面有很多不同的工具呢，都是罗马式的。刚才那个特别的工具呢，是意大利人发明，叫 Sophietta。吹的时候，空气一进去可以胀开来。
So Lewis has went ahead and asked me for a set of handles. This is a really tricky thing to do. As long as you have a system that will give you the 2 exact same size bits, then you should.
我们现在要做一个耳，所以我刚才特别问他今天要做的是什么东西，因为之前我没有听清楚。现在轻轻压一下，这叫罗马式的耳。
The style handle that I'm going to present, Lewis, is called a Roman handle. It kind of looks like a little dog paw on the end of my iron, but you'll see Lewis will stretch it out and it'll have these beautiful grooves on the outside.
这时候呢要很小心，轻轻一捻一拉，然后呢剪断。这个动作要很快，而且很不容易做，所以我刚才特别问他了一下，看，连拉剪。
So Lewis stretches the glass to the length that he wants. He's able to quickly grab a set of tweezers and flip the glass back and make a set of handles.
好棒啊！给他一点掌声，非常漂亮。
Alright, Great. Now it's up to me to bring the exact same size, handle, the exact same thing. Exactly. If I bring the handle over too cold, then it won't stick to the piece. If I bring it over too hot, it will be too difficult for Lewis to shape.
好，这第二个呢要一样大小，那稍微可能一点点不太一样，但是一定要刚刚好，要对称。
I think it's pretty good. Yeah. All right, there we go. Now very quickly, he has to shape that second handle and tag it down, and it mirrors the opposite side. Very nice job. What do you all think?
非常漂亮。
Beautiful. So that second handle might not be as pulled out as the first one, but that's okay because the second handle still holds all of that fresh heat. We just applied it. So when we go back into the reheating chamber, it's the first thing to reheat or heat up the fastest. So he'll be able to come back and shape up that second handle one last time.
一般来讲，第二个这个要对称非常难，而且呢，因为冷缩热胀的关系呢，它一定要做的稍微好像小一点点。那最后冷却的时候是一样大小。
Very, very nice. Now, in order to save the glass that we make here on stage, we have to put it away in a slow cooling oven called an annealing oven. That's that oven that's right behind Lewis.
好，我们知道现在呢 ，Lauren 把它热一下，然后取下来，轻轻的放在中间的降温炉，你看它是不是很轻易敲下来？刚才太紧就敲不下来。
So we fire polish the puntumar just to smooth out that rough breaking point, so no one will cut their fingers tomorrow. But here's one last look.
我们把它看一眼，要马上放到中间降温炉，否则非常漂亮，5分钟之内就会破成碎片的。
All right, that was Lewis Olson, everybody. Let's give him a big round of applause.
谢谢 Lewis 还有 Lauren 他精彩的表演，谢谢。
All right, on to the second best part of the show. We are going to do a raffle, so we all gave everybody a little white ticket. Get your white ticket out, and we'll read out the last 3 numbers.
好，请大家很快的把你的票拿出来，看好最后3个号码。
All right, so Lewis will pick the winning ticket and the winning piece, a beautiful blue vase. Sure. All right, so the last 3 numbers: 9,
9、
4,
4、
8.
8。
All right there, congratulations. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Nice. 再来一个好不好？他说，How about another one?
That's fine, thank you.
Very generous.
You all are such a fun crowd. We're going to go ahead and get rid of another piece or give out another piece of glass. Let's see, the last 3 numbers: 9,
9、
1,
1、
4.
4。
914.
914. Grand winner. Wow, that's beautiful.
Beautiful blue book.
Cocoa blue.
And another bag. Why not?
要不要再一个？